when I started looking at the people around me, I'm responsible for a lot of people. A lot of people depend on me, and a lot of people make a lot of money with me. So with that being said, I just trying to think lately about how to get to that next level and what does that look like and what we need to do. So that's,
what do you think it looks like?
I don't know, man. A part of me want to do. I don't know. But what I think I want to do is just take what I have now and just multiply it. I think like that's gonna be the best thing.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Real Estate Podcast. Today we have a very special guest. He flew into Austin, Texas from Augusta, Georgia. We got Real Estate Roddy. He's from Augusta. He owns a business called Dream Estates. He's wholesaled, flipped, bought easily over 100 properties for about the same time that I have for the last 5-6 years or so.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
Yep.
So today we're going to dive into his story. Thank you for coming, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. I was excited when Kat told me that. She kept telling me, she's like, he's flying into this podcast. He's flying in to come on. I was like, all right. I appreciate it and I respect it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
So tell us a little bit about what you got going on in Augusta.
All right, so in Augusta, like I said, I've been doing real estate for 5 years. I just turned 30, so I bought my first property when I was 24. And
what was it?
It was a single family in my neighborhood that I grew up. So that was my first one. But I ended up having 3 houses that same month though. So
okay.
Yeah. So once I bought that one, I own the finance like the next 2 the same month.
All right.
Yep.
And so you're 24 years old,
Mm-hmm.
growing up in Augusta, Georgia. Did you ever think that you were going to get into real estate?
Nah, I ain't never. Nobody in my family was like real homeowners. Like we didn't grow up on that. One of my cousins, Kurt, he kind of started sharing some podcasts with me, and everything kind of like snowballed from there. So I kind of was studying it for a while and learning. So once I had the opportunity, everything made sense, and I bought that first one, and I've been buying ever since.
Well, tell me about cousin Kurt and kind of introducing you to this. What were you like? What was your plan? You know, you're obviously younger than 24 when you started learning about it, listening to podcasts. Like, what were you thinking your life was going to be like? So in the beginning, like my childhood, like I always been hustler. Like I was cutting grass, like whatever I needed to do to make some money, because I had to eventually I had to start getting my own school clothes. Like once I was in like 7th grade, and so that's kind of where I get my hustler spirit from. But with Kurt, what ended up happening was I was working a 9 to 5. And at that point, I was like 23 years old. And I was like, I just can't do this for the rest of my life. And we was making good money, but it just didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So, and I remember talking to him about it. And he brought in this guy with, I can't remember the company name. But he basically came and talked to us about investing in stocks and just in general. Came to the company?
Nah, he came to Kurt brung him to speak to the family, and he kind of. That's cool. It was dope.
Kurt sounds like a good man.
Kurt, that's my dog. Yeah, that's my boy. So so that's kind of how the light bulb went off, and you know we started learning from there, and listening to a bunch of Bigger Pockets. I was listening to Bigger Pockets, and a couple other ones. Blacker Pockets, and learning, listening to other people's stories, how they started real estate, and that's when I started like just getting little ideas, and I kind of went from there.
Okay, and how many properties do you currently own as rentals and hold on to today?
Right now, 10.
10.
Yeah.
How much cash flow do they generate a month, give or take?
Probably about I'm gonna say somewhere about probably 13K.
13K.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate
That's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
So 30 years old, passively earning $13,000 a month. Well, you manage them, but for the most part, passively, right?
Yeah. Ain't nothing to it.
Better than the 9 to 5.
Way better.
So earning $13,000 a month, and that's only going to increase over time and get better. You know, it's pretty amazing. And like you were talking about the hustler spirit coming from cutting grass, having to buy your own school clothes when you were in 7th grade. If you don't mind, I'd love to talk about that and kind of how you grew up and kind of what the mindset was and how, I mean, I guess Cousin Kurt kind of brought you out of that or, you know, helped bring you into a new mindset with investing in real estate because I think it's really important. I don't know if you've experienced this, you know, through your social media channels and everything, but we definitely have. And, you know, like I told you my story earlier, you know, 21 years old, full-blown heroin addict. I don't think that a lot of people believe that this is possible for them. I think that a lot of people, unfortunately, maybe they were raised that way. Maybe society is telling them something. Maybe their employer is telling them something. Maybe they just have negative, you know, thoughts about themselves or what's possible for the future. And for whatever reason, they don't believe that they can achieve what you've achieved by 30 years old. I mean, you've accomplished more by the age of 30 than most people do in their entire life. And so I'd love to kind of talk about that and talk about how this is possible for anybody. You know, one of our core values here at TRE is opportunities for everyone. We believe that it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what your background is, what your education is, what country you came from. Anybody has the opportunity to be successful in real estate. All you got to do is work hard and go get it.
Yeah, so early on, so my dad ended up passing away when I was 8 years old, right? But before he passed away, he was the neighborhood candy man. So like when he used to leave out the projects or whatever, I used to have to hold the store down. So that, you know, so I was selling, I was going with him to buy. So I was always into like just hustling in general. And so I think one of the biggest things coming from where I come from is that you don't see success. And that was one of the things that probably hold back a lot of people from being able to do a lot of things. So me today, I make sure I go back and do back to school for the kids and just random little things for kids in the community. And I go and I show them like it's possible. Anybody can do it. You know, you put your mind to it. So that's something I make sure I do, whether it's in the community, with adults, anybody, friends, family, and hard work always gonna pay off. And that's just how I see it.
It is, and it does. And I think one of the other, like we were talking about this earlier when we were driving around, you had asked, you know, what got me into real estate. Because like we both work really hard, right? Like I could be working really, really hard as I do here on a construction site and not be making as much money, right?
Exactly.
And so I think that it also comes with the education of, you know, whether it is through Cousin Kurt or through podcasts or whatever it is, on, you know, different ways where you can work hard and achieve, you know, extraordinary results. You know, such as real estate investing, finding deals, capitalizing on value that maybe you wouldn't otherwise be able to find it, you know, working at whatever it is, McDonald's or somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of times we go outside in the world and then we get influenced. Like I said, it's a lot of times it's gonna be like what you used to seeing every day, the people you're around. What type of friends you have, for example, you know, and you got to be mindful of those things as well. So that's a big part of it too, you know, keeping good people around you that's positive, you know, that and you being positive to other people.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Where were you working at when you were like 23?
I was 23. I was working at Bridgestone tire plant. You ever heard of? You know Bridgestone tire, right? Yeah.
Okay, so you're working at the tire plant. You
Yeah.
said it's a pretty good job.
Yeah, it was a good job, especially for a 23-year-old.
Okay, what were you doing there?
Making tires. So I used to make the rubber.
Uh-huh.
I used to work in mixing. So we just make the rubber, and then they go out into the to the other side.
And then they put it in the molds and make the tires.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a whole process.
All right. And what were you doing before that? Because I'm sure that was, like you said, a good, steady paying job.
Before that, I was working at a side shop, and that was another big part of me being able to become an entrepreneur. It helped me build my confidence. When I was 19, I ended up going to jail or something like that. I was like 20. I turned 21. I went to jail for 3 weeks. And I lost my job that I had before then. So when I got out of jail, when I was in jail, I knew that job was gone. So I was just like, well, I got to figure something out because I got an apartment, all that. So I was like, I want to learn how to work with my hands, like a trade or fixing something, whatever. And I got on Craigslist, and I ended up finding this shop. And it was like a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that she wanted you to do there, like, you know, from loading up the customers with the sod, with the fork truck. We was fixing roof. We was working on the 18-wheelers. So it was like a whole lot of stuff going on there. And she took a chance with me, and I think that was another big part of my life where I was working under this other guy who had he was a little older, but he knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in, I learned from him.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of translated into real estate because by the time I started buying my first property, I knew how to do a lot of stuff like plumbing, and what I didn't know, I knew the concepts of it to be able to go and just figure it out.
YouTube.
Nah, it wasn't no YouTube then.
You didn't learn on YouTube?
Nah, not at that time. But I do YouTube, everything on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
But at that time, that was a big thing, because a lot of people now try to figure out like, how did I learn how to do any of the carpenter side of real estate, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I learned through like just trial and error, just going with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Only reason I mentioned YouTube is I learn everything on YouTube.
For real?
I love YouTube. I've watched YouTube since, I don't know, I was, just a little kid whenever it came out. And sometimes when I send a contractor out to, do something on like a bathtub or something, they said, no, it's not possible. It can't be done. I can't do it like that.
Yeah.
YouTube, how to, XYZ. And I'm like, here's a YouTube video that shows you exactly how to do it, And so you can learn anything. There are no excuses, whether it is YouTube, Google, trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is possible.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about this interaction with Cousin Kurt. So Cousin Kurt brought somebody to sit down with the family.
Yeah.
How big's the family?
This my North Augusta family, so it probably was about 20 of my family members there.
20 people there?
Yep, something like that.
And where is everybody at? Where y'all at?
We was at the recreation center. You ever heard of the Peach Jam?
Uh-uh.
So the Nike have a Peach Jam in North Augusta.
Okay.
It's like EYBL. It's a big thing now.
Okay.
That's where all the high school basketball prospects, the best of the best, that's where they play at.
Okay.
And all the scouts for college is there watching them play.
Okay.
So we had it there at the recreation center.
Okay, so Cousin Kurt organized this.
Yeah, he put it together.
And who is Cousin Kurt? Like, what was he doing at the time?
Kurt, he's in the basketball world.
Okay.
He does real estate as well.
So he like helps recruit or put stuff together for Nike there?
Nah, not necessarily Nike. He does stuff with Adidas, with Stars. He a part of their organization, so that's what he does now. But he coached me as well when I was in high school, and yeah. So he ended up bringing a guy from Edward Jones, and that's kind of how we got going with that.
And so what? Because that's not I don't think that's a normal thing. I've never had somebody tell me that someone in their family organized a meeting where they had, a financial advisor, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Come and talk about stocks and investing. And I think that's very, I think that's really cool. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. It's one of the things like we always talk about anyway, like group economics. And, it's pretty much try to get everybody on the same page, because we could do more, like, as a whole rather than just you or me, right? So that's pretty much how that worked. And I took a lot from it, and I learned a lot from it, and we still work together to this day, though.
Kurt?
Yeah.
Well, because did you know much about investing prior to this meeting?
No, none really. I had 401k, but other than that, not really.
And so what did this Edward Jones guy come in and tell you guys?
He was talking to us about how the insurance companies make money, stocks, investing in things that you use primarily, like if you are a fan of Colgate, like you want to buy you some stock in Colgate because that's who you support. That's where your dollar's going.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Okay. And it just kind of, turn that light bulb on.
Yeah, it's just like, okay. And then from there, like I said, the podcast. Then we was reading books too. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Things like that.
Well, that's cool.
That's how we. That's pretty much what kind of got it rolling. And I just studied everything and listened to podcasts. So I was going to work during work, on breaks, on the way to work. I was listening to podcasts, learning. And then that just gave me that creativity and like, oh, light bulb off. Oh, I can do it this way, because it's not just like, it's real estate. It ain't one way to do nothing.
Right.
So it's like, it gave me a sense of direction. And so the only way I knew that first property was a good opportunity was because I had already prepared for it, so I understood what it was. And for sure I still own that one. Well, I own almost all of my rentals till today, and everything has appreciated like crazy.
Yeah, you started buying at the good time, and then I'm sure similar to the way it was here, 2020 through 2021, things just took off.
Yep.
So tell me about this first one. How did you find this first deal?
So I found the first deal through my wife. Her brother and sister-in-law was selling a house, and this is a house that's in my hood where I grew up as a kid. So I probably pass this house every day. And she told me about it, and we went to go look at it, and I ended up being able to close on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what price you buy it for?
I bought that one for $22,000.
$22,000.
Yep.
Okay. And what do you think it was worth when you bought it?
It appraised for $48,000 when I bought it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
They just needed $22,000 to kind of walk away.
Yep. I think that was like maybe they pay off or something like that.
They were just kind of done with it.
I ain't asking no questions. 22.
You said 22. I can get it for you.
Yeah. And it appraised. So it appraised for $48,000 at that time. So, and fast forward like 2 years later, $100,000. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did it need any work done to it?
I spent like $800
on work, paint, or
I had a tenant the next week.
Okay. And what was the tenant paying?
She was paying like $800.
$800.
Yeah.
That's the 4% rule.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. And how'd you get the $22,000 to buy it?
I use a conventional loan.
Okay, so you just went and applied?
Yep.
And you were working full time at Bridgestone still. Yep. So that income helped you qualify?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had that income helped me qualify, and I had started building my credit. I had bought a dirt bike, So I started building my credit with that because I ain't had much credit.
So prior to that, you had bought a dirt bike, making payments on it.
Yeah,
that helped your credit.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of dirt bike?
It was a Honda. It was a 2016 Honda CRF 250.
250.
Yeah.
4-stroke.
Yep.
Okay.
You ride?
I have. I don't anymore, but I used to.
Ah, man.
I like the 2-strokes though.
Oh, okay.
I used to ride growing up. My dad put me on when I was this tall. I used to ride the dirt bikes with the training wheels on them.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I had ended up selling all my dirt bikes once I really started real estate for real though.
Yeah. Well, like we talked about today, I mean, I love riding dirt bikes, but all we do is real estate all day long.
Yeah. I know how it be.
Yeah. Okay, so 800, and then you said the next month? Or
No, same month. Like
same month?
A week later.
Getting to rent it out. But you were talking about 2 properties you got seller finance.
Bought them a week later.
A week later?
Yeah, because once I bought that, I was like, I got to buy something else.
Okay.
I figured it out.
So where'd you get those 2 from?
They was on the market, actually.
Okay.
It was 2 houses that was on the same lot.
Okay, nice.
And I got those on the finance deal. I put $18,000 down.
And so prior to this, you were saving up your money?
Yeah, I was. Well, I'll be honest. So I'm not good at saving money. Like I can't see it. I don't want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my money in my 401k.
Okay.
That's how I was doing it.
Right.
So I tell people that like, boost up. You earn 9-5. Yeah. Boost your 401k money up. Work a little overtime. Your paycheck gonna be the same. That's what I was doing.
Okay. And so you pulled it out of the 401k.
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything in your 401k still?
No.
It's all in real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So you pulled 18 grand out of your 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Put that down.
Well, I think I had 10, so I only needed like another 8. So I put 18,000 down on I think the property was like 102.
Okay, for 2 houses. And it had tenants in there already?
One had a tenant and one didn't. But after I bought that first one, I had to figure out how to, cause I was living in an apartment, so I had to figure out like how to get out of that. So I really was wanting a duplex, but that situation was just it's better than a duplex.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them was rented out already, so we ended up moving in the one that was renovated.
Okay, so now you're house hacking.
For sure.
What was your mortgage payment?
It was like $1,000. It was $1,000 a month.
And the other tenant was paying how much?
$550.
Okay. So
Yeah.
And what were you paying at your apartment?
$450.
Okay, so it was about the same amount you're paying.
Same thing.
All right, but now you got your own house.
Yep.
Yard, everything.
Yep.
And how did you structure the seller finance? They were trying to sell it that way?
So how I ended up doing that, I couldn't find what I was looking for, so something told me call the property manager of the apartment that I lived in. It was a quad.
Mm-hmm.
So I called him, and he had one on the market. That's what he had on the market, because he's a broker.
Mm-hmm.
And so he set it up for me. I asked him about the seller finance because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get another loan right then.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, could we do it that way? And he got with the seller, and we ended up putting everything in perspective. So we did 7% interest rate with a 2-year balloon.
Okay.
That was the tricky part.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, like.
Pay it off in 2 years.
That was scary.
Yeah.
But at that point, it was just like, he told me how to do it. He told me to, like, this how you get around it. You could beat it, like, 6 months, just go refinance it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to pay it all off. Just refinance it.
Yeah, but I ain't know that.
Right.
It's brand new.
Right.
But I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I went with that. That's exactly what I did.
And when you refinanced in 6 months, what did it appraise for?
I can't remember. This like 2018 still.
Did you have to put more money down?
No, I didn't want to pull no money from it, and I didn't want to do. I just wanted just to switch the loan.
Yeah,
that's
swap.
Lead the equity.
And you probably got a great interest rate at that time.
Yeah, the interest rate was pretty good. That
compared to the 7.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which is normal now.
Yeah, it was like 4, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was something like a 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yep.
And so now you own 3 houses in a matter of what, 5 weeks?
Yep.
Okay. And
4
weeks.
Yeah, less than 4 though. Yeah. It's yeah.
That's amazing.
I bought all 3 of those in February.
Okay. And your wife, y'all are married at the time?
Nah.
But y'all are together, and
Yeah.
was she an agent at the time?
Nah.
Okay. And what was she thinking about you buying all these houses? Supporting it?
Yeah, for sure. It was exciting because I guess pretty much too because she had been knowing we've been talking about it every day, like for the last 6 months, 8 months, and to see everything like come full circle, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she was on board.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when did she get licensed?
She got a license 2019.
Okay, so
2019.
okay, so a little bit later after
Yeah.
y'all been doing it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you got the bug. After you bought these 2, you're like, I gotta go buy some more.
Yeah.
So when did you quit your job?
I quit my job in December 2021.
So you stayed there for a while.
Yeah. I wasn't in no rush because I knowing that I was going to keep building my money up so I can keep buying. And eventually it was going to get to where I have to leave, but I wanted it to be that way rather than it's some emotional, like, oh, I just want to quit. It wasn't that. So I just used my job to keep making money, saving money, and kept buying property.
Okay. And what happened after these 2? When did you start wholesaling and deciding to flip?
Nah, so after that one, by May, we ended up having, so that's February. By May, we had a duplex.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you got 5 units, 5 doors.
Mhm.
You bought the duplex.
Yep. So we moved out that house. We was only there for maybe 2 months. Moved out of there to the duplex. Moved in the worst one, rented out the good one.
Started fixing up the worst one.
Yep. So we did that.
How'd you buy that one?
I used my wife credit.
Wife's credit. Okay.
She hadn't even seen the duplex. She was in Mexico. Yeah. So I got with the lender. I did everything while she was gone.
Okay.
Yep.
Got the loan.
Yep.
All right. How much was that duplex?
It was 76,000.
Okay. And what were the rents on the good side?
The good side, I think we was renting it out for like $750.
All right. Well, that's great.
Yeah, it was good.
So this is all in Augusta, all in the same area that you grew up in.
Yup. No, not these. The first one is the only one where I grew up, but all the other ones was like 30904, and that's pretty much like, to me, that's like the best zip code in Augusta. To me.
Okay. Why is it the best one?
Cause it's more like the downtown. You got the Augusta Masters right there. You got the hospitals, the colleges.
Oh yeah, the Masters playing
for sure.
Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
All right.
You watch golf?
No, I don't really watch sports that much.
Ah, okay.
I like
don't
sports.
watch golf though.
I like sports, like to play sports, but I don't really watch it too much.
Yeah.
But I do remember Augusta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the best zip code. That's where the duplex was.
Yep. 30904.
What's that one worth today?
We already sold that one for $150.
Nice.
Yeah.
30904. That's where to look in Augusta.
Ah, man, stay out the way.
All right. So, when did you start wholesaling and flipping houses, and like, what was going on when you decided to quit your job?
So after we bought the duplex, what I did, I hadn't used my FHA loan yet, so I used my FHA loan, bought another single family for what was it, like 110?
30904.
Yep, for about 110, and we moved in that one. So we moved out the apartment, moved into that one in December, rented out the apartment, and then we did a live-in flip.
Okay. And
That was my first flip.
that was your first flip, and that's
Yeah.
when you quit your job, or you're still working?
Nah, I ain't quit my job till I was working on the second flip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause and so how much money did you make from the first one?
Not a lot. Probably like 20,000.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, what were you making per month at the time at your job?
Probably probably like 2,000-3,000.
2,000-3,000?
Yeah.
So I mean, it may not be a lot, today with bigger deals, but at
For
the
sure.
time, that's a lot of
Oh,
money.
Yeah, it was good. And really, it wasn't even about the money. It was just it was the experience.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Going through that process. And
Hey, this is Alex, and I'm the co-owner of TRE. Since the beginning of time, real estate has created more millionaires than any other investment, and I want to get you involved in a community that will help you achieve your goals within real estate investing. I know you don't have the knowledge, connections, or resources to start investing today. Most people spin their wheels over and over and over without ever actually taking any action to successfully start investing. That's why I want to get you involved in our community so that you can get the hands-on support, training, and meet the other members that you can start doing deals with in order to start investing in real estate. You need to get in the room with the right people who can help you achieve your goals and get the hands-on support and one-on-one training that you need in order to start investing. Just click on the link in the description to join the entrepreneur community today.
and I learned how to delegate.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my bros that work with me now that does my flooring, he pretty much taught me how to delegate. Like, it's like you working too much. Like, you need to pay somebody to do it, and you go do this, and or you making money like that. And so that's kind of how I learned how to get more done at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you thinking in your mind at this time? Like, are you thinking, I want to build Dream Estates? Dream Estates is going to do this, this, and this? Or are you just thinking, let's just do some more deals, this is working?
Mm-hmm. At this time, all that happened so fast. I'm still trying to understand like what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause to me it was like I'm doing it, but it's a big deal though. When I really look back, it's like the things that I did all in that 1 year was a lot. And at that time it wasn't nothing to compare it to. I didn't have no real estate buddies, no older people I was talking. All that stuff was just off of me just rolling the dice and just going for what I know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was then, but probably by the time I got to my second and third flip, that's when I understood like, okay, like I know what I'm doing a little bit more. And I just kept going.
Okay. And what does the team look like today? Just you and your wife? Obviously you got your crews and subcontractors and all that, but like do you have anybody helping you find deals? Anybody what's it look like?
Finding deals, I rely on like me putting out the content. A lot of people follow my flips because they like to watch the process. A lot of people tell me it's like, it's like watching HGTV because I always post on my story. So a lot of people be in tune with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that don't leave people head. So, you can be talking to anybody and then they say, well, I want to sell my house, or I'm thinking about, well, I'm in this situation. And then, the first person should pop in your head is me if you are always watching my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way I use it to get more property in. And then the other way, I look on the MLS and I kind of gauge property that's probably been sitting for a while and seeing how I can, be creative with a deal. Sometime it works, sometime it don't. I got one down closing on Monday and it worked out.
All right,
Yeah,
congrats.
so yeah, for sure it worked out.
We didn't go ahead.
No, what you gonna say?
We didn't talk about it earlier when we were up in the classroom, but making low offers on the MLS. We've made thousands. Like sometimes we just get on there and you know, obviously we're probably not doing it for brand new construction.
Right.
But if it's been, and right now is a good time, property sitting on the market, you can find, you know, estates that are listing properties for sale, you know, trusts that are listing properties for sale. You can obviously see the deferred maintenance. If they only got one picture on it, you know that it's probably a good property to make an offer on.
Yep.
And we've made thousands and thousands. Me and my partner Matt used to do like 80 a day.
For sure.
Each.
It work out?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's on the follow-up. Because, you know, the first email, and we used to send contracts, complete written contracts with a low offer. Then we started going to, like, emails like, hey, Roddy, this is Alex, you know, interested in your property here. We could pay cash for this at this price. We could maybe structure seller financing. If they're open to it, please let us know. And just send out, like, an email like that. And a lot of, I don't think ever we've gotten someone that says yes on the first contact. But if it sits there for a while, when they come back and they're like, you know, maybe it's listed at 500, maybe we offer 3, and they come back, they're like, no, but we'll take 4. It's like, well, I just got 100K off like that, you know.
Yeah. It
may not be at 3, but now I know there's some motivation and we can work it and negotiate it. And so a lot of our money on those has been made in the follow-up and continuing to talk to them and negotiate it over time.
Right. And a lot of times, like for me too, once I buy one house, I almost always get at least another house close to it. So like I have one house, and then a neighbor, the husband ended up passing away, and they was older, so the daughter came and moved her mom to Charlotte with her, and you know they called me right up, got my number from my guys next door working, and I bought the house for the same price I bought that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it happens like that.
Yeah. I get a lot of them like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Door knocking, talking to people, letting everybody know that, you know, you'll buy their house. Did you ever do anything like skip tracing lists, cold calling?
I tried, man. I failed at that. That ain't my thing. Like I figured out early on that wasn't for me.
What happened?
I just couldn't never get nobody.
On the phone?
No, I'd get them on the phone. They'd get on the phone like, no, I ain't selling my house. Click. Like, they be on that one.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a part of the game, so it ain't it discouraged me, but that ain't for me. I'd rather pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people watching this podcast, or, you know, all the agents or anybody who reaches out to us on social media, everybody always asks, like, what's the best way to get the leads? And the answer is that they all work, right? Door knocking, sending mail, you know, SMS blast, cold calling, social media, networking, working with agents, MLS, you know, going to the distressed owners who are facing pre-foreclosure or probate or divorce or whatever. All the methods work, you know. They all work just about as well as the other. It just depends on which one you're willing to stick with, be consistent with, and, you know, do day in and day out.
Right.
And so, you know, I get it, and a lot of people probably don't enjoy or like cold calling. It's probably not the method for them, but it doesn't mean that one of the other methods aren't going to work just as well for you.
Exactly. So let me ask you, what was your start in real estate? Like, what did that look like?
The first property that I bought, it was a single family house in Austin, probably about 10-15 minutes from here. We got it. It was brought to my partner Matt from a wholesaler. He had it under contract, and he wanted $103,000 for it. And this was in 2017, and that was cheap. There was nothing for sale for $100,000. I think the wholesaler was from a different city, and so he didn't quite know what he had. Yeah. And so Matt locked it up, and I had been doing stuff with Matt prior to that. You know, like I said, we were cold calling, or I was putting out, like, you know, bandit signs, and by this time I had been sober for like 3 or 4 years, and maybe less than that, maybe like 2 years, actually 2 or 3 years. And I had been studying, similar to you, the entire time, and I had saved up a lot of cash, and so I was sitting on like probably like $40,000. And prior to that, me and Matt were investing in like cannabis stocks. At the time, cannabis stocks were going crazy, you know, and Canada was legalizing it. And Matt had said, man, you gotta buy this house with me. You know, he's like, I got under contract, just split it with me, 50-50, we'll go in on it. And, you know, I was like, man, you know, it's a good deal. Going through all the analysis in my mind, I said, you know, I trust Matt. He knows what he's doing. If he thinks it's a good deal, then I think it's a good deal. I trust that he's going to, you know, make sure that it all works out.
Right.
And so I ended up buying that first one with him. And then from there, you just went all in on it.
Well, what'd y'all do with that one?
We rented it out. Thankfully, that house needed a lot of work. We ended up, that story on that one, so we got it under contract with the wholesaler at 103, but the seller had about like $30,000 in liens on top of that payoff. So when we got to closing, the cash to close was $139,000.
Oh.
So it increased quite a bit, but it was still a good deal even at that price. And so we negotiated with the wholesaler and the seller and said, we're not paying $139,000, but wholesaler, if you'll pay $3,000 of that, take it out of your fee. And seller, if you'll pay, you know, $3,000 of that, we'll buy it at, you know, $133,000. And so we ended up buying it at $133,000. We got a hard money loan for it. Matt put up half the cash to close. I put up half the cash to close. And the day we closed on it, we had a tenant in it. One of Matt's friends, coworkers or something needed a place to live.
Yeah. And
we got him in there, and he was a tenant there for like 3 years.
Oh, wow. You still own it?
Yeah, still own it.
Oh, that's dope.
It's we bought it for $133,000. We refinanced 6 months later. It was appraised at like $190,000. Did a cash out refinance, pulled our money out plus a little bit more, got a better interest rate because the first one was a hard money loan. Took that money, went and bought the next one, and today that house is probably worth $400,000.
Wow. Dang. Did you use the hard money loan to renovate it?
No.
Or just to buy?
Just to buy. We had the tenant in there. At the time, if I knew what I knew now about hard money, I would have. The first few hard money loans that we got, basically, Matt was like setting it all up and everything, and I don't think at the time he fully realized that we could get the funds from the hard money lender to do the rehab, or maybe he did, but maybe he's like, we don't need to spend it. I was basically just doing whatever he said to do. But we paid a lot of money over the years in maintenance for that one. I mean, it wasn't in the best condition. Tenant was always putting in maintenance requests.
Oh, okay.
So it was cash flow negative, but we paid for it over time versus all up front.
I got you.
But typically, we utilize the hard money rehab to do the construction.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good deal, though.
That was a good deal. We refinanced it, did another cash out refi on it in 2021, I think.
What are the price for then?
$350,000. So we pulled another like $70,000 plus out each, I think, something like that.
That's crazy. $
70,000 total, maybe. Yeah, and so we did cash out refi on it twice, and now it's locked in at like a 3.5% interest rate.
You can't beat that.
Nope, not anymore.
That's
Did
crazy.
that. Took the first cash out refi money, went and bought the second one. Second one, I actually, it was going to be, I think our plan was to flip it initially, but it was such a good property, and we bought it at such a great price. Like, we're very aggressive when we are buying deals. We never pay market value. We're always going in and negotiating like crazy to get it far below. And we found one through the MLS offers, just blasting them out. Someone responded back. It was in the state. It had been listed for a while. Wasn't in the best condition, like updated and everything, but it wasn't falling apart or anything really wrong with it either. And we got it for like 262,000.
Yeah.
And it was the cheapest house sold in that neighborhood in like 3 years. So we got a good deal on it. And I actually ended up turning that into a sober living. It would have been hard to make the rent work with a long-term tenant at the time.
Right.
And at the time, I was still working in the recovery industry. So we were doing like interventions and transports to and from detox centers, coaching.
Oh.
And I said, well, I could probably turn this into a sober living house, pay ourselves, I'll pay us rent from the sober living business. That way it's cash flows and can support, the mortgage and everything. And did that for a while, but no longer do that. We just have long-term tenants in there.
Okay. Hey, do y'all have Section 8 here?
Yeah.
Okay. You how you feel about Section 8?
Love it.
Okay.
We have our property manager doesn't love it, but we have Doreen up. You met her earlier.
Yeah.
We own 8, 9. Now we own 9 units with her, 2 fourplexes and a single family house, and she's a hustler. She gets after it. And we have a 4plex here in Round Rock, which is just 10 minutes north from here.
Okay.
We renovated those. We were doing them as Airbnbs, but it wasn't really working out with the cash flow, and it was fluctuating, and there's nothing necessarily special about the property really for like an Airbnb experience. And so we turned those into long-term tenants, and during hustled, got them all set up, got Section 8 tenants in there, and they're all great tenants.
That's good.
Yeah. Why you ask?
Nah, that's I'm pretty much like, that's my little go-to right now. So I'm trying to fill all the rest of my rentals up now with Section 8.
Okay,
I just like it. You say what?
Why is that?
I just
Why do you like it?
I just like the no hassle with the payment. That's like one of the main things.
Yeah.
Cause it seems like it's always easy. You know how it is with the tenants. Like everybody got all the money when it's move in time, and then the next month it's like, oh, my dog died.
There's always a story.
There's always a story, and that just get old. So it's like, and I like Section 8 even more now, cause like now we can just do quarterly checkups, make sure the property is good shape, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're talking about you do the quarterly checkups?
Yeah, I will, cause I'm always moving around. So.
What is that the requirement of Section 8?
It's not a requirement, but you can put that in the lease agreement.
Yeah, for your tenants.
Yeah. Because that's like that's one of the stigmas that they come with, that they gonna tear the property up, and that's kind of how you just kind of stay on top of it.
Yep, that's what Doreen says.
Yeah.
We're gonna check up quarterly, and that way they know we're coming, they know it's gonna be taken care of. But we haven't had any issues with it at all so far, and she's got more Section 8 rentals, I believe. But yeah, it's good. We're so it was a 4plex, right? And one of the units wasn't being Airbnb'd. It was to a long-term tenant, and I think they were paying like $1,500 in rent at the time, and the other 3 that do have Section 8 tenants in them, Doreen got them leased out for like $1,700. So we needed that because we had to refinance last year, and with the high interest rates, and I don't know how it is in Augusta, but property taxes are high here. Are they high in Augusta?
It's not. It's not really high.
Okay, well, keep it that way, because like at that 4plex, we probably pay $12,000.
Oh no, nothing like that.
In property taxes annually.
Wow.
Come January, it hurts. In a couple of months, there's probably going to be about $150,000 worth of property taxes that need to be paid.
Yeah. But I bet y'all be having good tax lien sales on it because of
There
that.
is good tax lien sales. It's really high. I mean, around here, the rent's high too, though. You know, like it's hard to find anything in Round Rock, Austin under $1,800. Really, that's probably the bottom.
Really?
I mean, you could maybe go find a studio, or I'm sure there's a duplex listed on there somewhere that's like $1,500, but I'd say median rent's about $1,800. Kat could probably look it up. You ever see Joe Rogan podcast?
Yeah.
This is Jamie. She's gonna look up the information for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the prices are higher, property taxes are higher,
It makes sense.
rent's higher.
1806.
1806 is median rent.
Okay.
And Austin?
What in Austin drives the market value up so high?
Elon Musk.
Ah.
You know Elon?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things. Austin's been a growing city for a long time.
Right.
It's the capital of Texas. There's been a lot of jobs around here for a long time. Like in Round Rock, we got Dell Computers headquarters. They're there. In Austin, there's always been a lot of companies, a lot of jobs here. And Austin's always been a place where people come to as well and visit and travel. Willie Nelson's here, the live music capital of the world, they say. I don't know if that's the case anymore.
Oh, okay.
The festival today, Austin City Limits, that's a big deal. Austin City Limits is a huge festival. People from all over the world come. We have South by Southwest here every year.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to that.
Okay.
They built the F1 racing track in South Austin. That's another thing that people come all over the world. But really, I mean, when COVID hit, a lot of jobs and companies started moving here. So Elon Musk brought Tesla headquarters to Austin. You probably saw it leaving the airport, driving in here maybe. If you didn't, the Uber driver, probably went down 35 or something.
Yeah.
But it's huge. It's a mile-long facility. But he brought his headquarters here. And then once Elon came, then a lot of other people started coming. So Apple's here, Facebook's here. Amazon has a bunch of stuff here. Oracle moved their headquarters here. What else am I missing? Samsung.
Yeah.
They built are building a $17 billion plant in Taylor.
You say billion?
Billion with a B. 17 billion. I think that's almost like, if not the GDP of all of Austin, is $17 billion or something. So they're building that there. That's going to bring a ton of jobs.
Yeah.
Just so much stuff is coming to Austin. And so ultimately, the jobs bring the value increase in properties. But Austin's also a cool city. I kind of kidnapped you today. You didn't really get to go see it, but there's a lot of cool things to do in Austin, at the lake and the river and downtown, and a lot of people enjoy being here.
Yeah. I know, that's kind of like how my city is growing as well. Like, it's not as big as Austin, of course, but, we got the Masters, we got the medical scene there is very big. We got a couple colleges, military base. So, that's like one of the things, like, so we see a lot of people try to invest in Augusta that's from California or New York and things of that nature because of how cheap the real estate is there, and it's a growing market, and it's constantly it's never really just slow. It'll slow down, but it's not gonna ever really go bad because you got everybody's always moving in, moving out, especially like with the military. But one of the things we seeing now is like a ton of new constructions though. So land is kind of like the big thing that's going on around us.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of Austin so far?
I like Austin, man.
Like I said, you probably didn't get to
I'm gonna
experience
check out
much.
downtown. I'm gonna check downtown out a little bit later. I'm gonna see what it look like.
Okay.
My the Uber guy, he just told me to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go check it out. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
It's a good time too. You know, I don't know how hot it gets in Augusta, but
Hot.
it gets hot here too.
Yeah.
It was like 105, a month ago.
Yeah. I was in Houston about a month ago. That was crazy. Like you could barely breathe.
Yeah. But it feels good now. So like going downtown, walking around,
Yeah.
you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
All right. And so tell me, what does the future hold for you? So you do a lot. You've wholesaled a lot, flipped a lot. I know you got deals under contract that are closing on Monday. You give back to your community.
For sure.
Continue to build the social media presence. What does the future hold for you and Dream Estates?
So the future is so I'm focused on now is kind of what you guys were talking about earlier. How can we what does the next level look like, and how can we get there? And so that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Because so one of the things where I figure out that I learned with the real estate was I started to understand how important what I do, and when I started looking at the people around me, I'm responsible for a lot of people. A lot of people depend on me, and a lot of people make a lot of money with me. So with that being said, I just trying to think lately about how to get to that next level, and what does that look like and what we need to do. So that's,
what do you think it looks like?
I don't know, man. A part of me want to do. I don't know. But what I think I want to do is just take what I have now and just multiply it. I think like that's gonna be the best thing. I don't really want to get into developing right now. It's not like something I'm trying to do right now. I like to do it and learn it, but right now I just think we can just take what we doing now and just make it more bigger.
Okay.
Do it on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Like you doing it.
Trying.
You got it, man.
What's the biggest property y'all have door wise? Fourplex?
Nah, just a duplex. Really, I'm not that big on multifamily like
Why not?
that. I like single families. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
So the why is the turnover rate on the multifamilies. So usually you got two or three bedrooms. You got somebody that's moving into an apartment with hopes and dreams of moving into a house. So as soon as they get in that apartment, they probably already have a kid or two, and so the next thing is like, okay, we need a house now. There's not enough space. So it's like that turnover rate is always gonna kind of be there. I don't like that.
Yeah, I get it, but you may not like it because you're managing. But when somebody else is managing, you still don't want the turnover. You want to decrease vacancy, decrease the make rates, decrease the turnovers. But I bet you, I don't know, but I'd love to look at this with you and look at buying these with you if you're open to it. I bet you the apartments look pretty good in Augusta. They just make more sense. At least here in Austin and in hot markets. If you're going to get some cash flow on some single family houses, you're also going to get some cash flow on some multifamily properties.
Right.
And at scale, say it's just an 8 unit or, 20 unit or whatever it is. And I'm only telling you this with our experience here, but like our best performing properties are 8+ units. We own 17 units in Llano. It's a 9-plex and an 8-plex. We own an 8-plex in New Braunfels. We own a 14 unit. This is actually my favorite. 14 unit mobile home park in South Austin.
Okay.
that's the best property. No headache, no turnover. They're going to stay there. Tenants will stay there 20 years at the mobile home park.
Okay.
Cash flow. And there's no maintenance on it really because it's just land.
Right.
But right now there's a big opportunity for people who might have bought some multifamily in the last couple of years and their loans coming due or their interest rates about to change to current interest rates, and they're not going to be able to afford it anymore because of the new cost of debt. So they're going to have to sell these properties, or something's going to happen, but they're going to have to offload them, or the bank's going to take them back.
Right.
And it's a good time to be looking and, you know, seeing if you can find one that makes sense. But I agree with you on the turnover. But there's also people who stay there for, 2-3 years as well. And there's a way that it makes sense. The other cool part about it that I like is that the value of it is not based on what the apartment complex next door sold for.
Income.
It's based on the income. There's, of course, some value to the cost to build it, the land. Like, if it has zero income, it's not going to sell for $1, right? But its true value is based on the income that it produced, and you can control that via things such as pushing the rents, keeping maintenance down, having efficient management, adding things such as like laundry facilities on site, vending machines, like whatever. So long as you can increase that net operating income, the property is worth a lot more.
Right. I agree.
It's interesting. Like, look at it like this.
That's one of our goals, though, for sure.
What'd you say?
That's one of our goals to own a multi-family, maybe 20 plus units or something like that.
Let's look at the math on a 20 unit.
All right.
So let's say you got a 20 unit apartment complex. Let's say you raise the rent. What would an apartment rent for right now?
Depending on the location, but probably.
And your favorite zip code?
Let's say apartment. Let's just say $1,000.
$1,000?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So it's bringing in $20,000 a month if it's fully occupied. Now, let's say you go to these 20 units. Say you buy it this year. It's bringing in that. Maybe there's a little vacancy. There always is. But let's say you go to it next year and you tell all the 20 tenants, we're going to raise your rent by $100. Right? So now your income just increased by $2,000 a month, right?
Right.
Now let's just say that, considering 90% of it is occupied, maybe there's some vacancy here or there, so $1,800.
Okay.
Times 12 is $21,600 a year extra you're making, right? And due to the fact that it's not based on the comps, but the value of it's based on the income that it produced, you know what cap rates are?
Yeah.
All right. So, like, what's the cap rate in Augusta? Like 6?
Yeah, 6. I done seen 4, so 4 or 6, somewhere around there.
Let's call it 6 is probably a good one right now with interest rates where they're at.
All right.
And so we're going to take your annual income divided by the cap rate, and you just created $360,000 worth of value, and all you did was this. Hey, Roddy, your rent this year is going to be $100 more. That's all you did to 20 tenants, and you created $360,000 worth of value.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so that's what I like about it is controlling the value of it, being able to increase the NOI, it not being based on the duplex sales next door, because that can really screw you in the long run if it's the wrong time or if the market goes a certain way. And it's less noisy too, the bigger properties, if they're good properties in good locations. It's less noise than I hear with our single family properties.
I got you.
We should look at buying some of them.
Yeah, we should.
You're going to need partners.
Yeah, we could look at it.
All right.
Yeah, we be having some good stuff down there. especially on the commercial side too.
What on the commercial side?
It's what I see on the commercial side, like sometimes we have like office units come available, some of everything. I show you some of the stuff.
All right, industrial.
Yep, industrial.
Y'all have mobile home parks there that you know about?
Yeah, but it's like rare, like that you run across one.
Yeah, storage units.
Storage units, yeah.
I'm gonna check out Augusta. I'm really interested to learn about
You
it.
should come check it out. I come fly in, man. I'll take you around.
All right, we
Show
will.
you some stuff.
All right. What else? What's your piece of advice to people watching who, or maybe where you were when you first started?
Oh, if you was where I were when I first started, I just say soak up all the information that you can, cause that's really the key to it, and don't pay attention to what you see everybody doing, cause a lot of stuff on the internet isn't real life stuff. You know how it is, and just take it one step at a time. Cause if you look too far deep into it, then you're gonna overthink it, and you're gonna talk yourself out of it, and you'll never get started.
Yep.
So just take one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yep.
Okay. And if anybody's watching this and they know a deal is in Augusta or anywhere close by, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Real Estate Roddy, Facebook Rod Tolbert. I ain't on Twitter no more, but that's kind of where you can find me.
Real Estate Roddy.
Yep.
Where'd you come up with that name?
I did a interview, and I was like, what it really was is reinventing myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just a character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, who is Real Estate Roddy?
Real Estate Roddy is just a super cool, fly, real estate guy. So,
all right, Real Estate Roddy. You heard it here. Anything
Yep.
else you want to share with the people?
Just stay focused, stay hungry, and I appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It was dope.
Until next time, when we'll record the next one when we're in Augusta.
Yeah, let's do a tour.
All right, we'll do a tour.
Yeah. We could do a whole vlog.
Yeah, we can. We should have done one today.
Yeah, we should have.
All right.
Took me to some spots.
Well, thank you guys for watching Real Estate Roddy. Till next time when we're in Augusta.
Peace.